Hey bosses, welcome to a new season of Boss Please.
We're so in sync now, you guys, that we say the same things at the same time.
Oh my gosh,
Holy
that's
crap.
amazing.
We have been around for...
Megan's still dying.
This is...
Welcome to season 3?
Season 3.
Oh my
Season
god,
3.
it's season 3?
Episode 51.
Wow.
We've done 51
Wow.
of these things.
And we
That's
still like each other.
amazing.
We do. We
We
still
do.
like each other.
That's an accomplishment.
It's cool.
Oh
I don't
my
mind.
gosh, I love it.
So welcome back, ladies. So
Thank you.
thrilled to see you again. I feel like we have a lot to catch up on. So how were you a boss this week? Please tell me.
Megan, go
So much
first.
to catch up on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you know, I had a moment at work and I was just really proud of myself because I really stuck up for myself. I was told I couldn't do something, but I can do it. And I made my points as to why I can do it, and I think I made them see my point. I know I'm being very vague right now, but obviously I can't go into full details. But I was proud of myself because usually in a situation where you get pulled aside, and I don't want to say get a talking to, but you know they have a concern about something. Usually I would like break down and cry,
Mm-hmm.
but I held my own. I was like, no, it's a misunderstanding. This is what's happening, and blah blah blah. And it was like, okay, well there we go, and I was proud of myself.
Awesome.
I love that.
If that made any sense.
No,
at
it
all.
does.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Melinda?
I just trimmed more fat from my life because I needed to. It's not that I loved like having a full schedule, but some things
Girl, you
I
are
just
so
can't say
busy.
yes to everything anymore.
Mm-mm.
And I still feel like I do say no to a lot of things, but I always want to keep my schedule full and I always want to help people, but I've realized that I just need to start helping myself more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just cut a few other extracurricular activities, as I like to call them, from my life that weren't financially feasible.
Mm-hmm.
I still have things that it's not necessarily about the money, but there are certain things that still take up more time that, you know, even if you don't make money, like you're like, it's not even really worth it
Right.
to a certain point. So I had to cut some of those things that even though I loved doing them and was a part of them, besides them not making me any money, it wasn't fulfilling me in a way that I needed it to be fulfilled in my life. So, when I told my husband, I was like, so I'm only going to do these 5 things. He gave me a look like, that's it, really? I was like, but I cut these. He was like, I can't believe you still had those. So it's slowly but surely, I'm getting down to just, you know, paring my life down a little bit. But I cut like 3 things out of my life, which I'm good for. So
3 is a lot.
3 is a lot.
5
Yeah.
is still a lot. But
5
get
is
it,
still a
girl.
lot, but those 5 things matter to me, and they're very, very important. And yeah, but yeah, I cut 3 things out, and it was kind of laughable. I was like, oh, I'm cutting 3 things, but it's good.
I love
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So my boss moment this week came from some trauma, and I think everybody can relate. I got locked out of my Gmail account, which is life. Gmail is life.
I would die.
Absolutely.
I-
It's your work.
Like, so I got an email, which was super scary from my credit card company saying that they found my email address on the dark web. How haunting does that sound, right?
Jillian,
Dark
do you have a
web.
secret to tell us?
I guess. I don't know. Apparently somebody's trying to sell my email on the dark
I love
web. So I changed my password and I did everything on my phone because my boyfriend and I were making dinner and watching a movie and I didn't want to take out my laptop. When the time came to type my password into my laptop, completely forgot it. Gmail locked me out. It took me 3 weeks to recover my password. I had to jump through hoops, post on Gmail forums, talk to a lot of random people that were
Consulted
trying to
Chrissy
help me.
Teigen.
Yes, tweeted at Chrissy Teigen. Somebody named Malynda Hale, who has a bunch of followers, retweeted me. You know, she's like trying to get her followers to like get Google to notice me. Finally, I see this. They send me this application that you have to. There's no number to call. There's no direct
Isn't
person.
it crazy? Facebook does the same thing. You can't get in contact with anyone.
Yeah.
It's like, y'all may think that you own the world, but like things still go wrong.
They do kind of own the world, though.
They
Yeah.
do, but like they need to be accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So it was honestly terrifying and it was definitely my fault and it was a huge lesson, but just knowing that like I got it back, like I did that,
cool.
it felt so damn good.
Yeah.
Felt so damn good.
I
Okay.
love it.
So, a real talk, our first real talk of the new season. I have been dealing with a lot of closed-minded people in my life.
What?
Yes, I know.
This day and age, people are close-minded.
So I want to ask you guys, how do you have successful conversations with people that are stubborn or close-minded?
I don't.
That was the most Malynda answer ever, and I love it.
Because you're very engaging on social media.
No, I am. And I really do try to meet people where they're at, because I do realize that people's life experiences are what have caused them to form certain opinions about things. If you follow me and you know what I'm very passionate about, social justice is obviously a huge part of my life and what I do. And when I hear people's opinions of certain things, I really just ask them questions. And when it gets to a point where they just can't answer the question intelligently, I have to move on from my sanity, because that person to me is beyond reason, and they're not going to listen to anything that you have to say because they are stuck in their ways and they've made up their mind. Now, I have successfully, with music, changed people's minds about things. I did a song on my last EP, and I released it earlier too, called We Run, that was for Black Lives Matter movement, and I absolutely had people listen to that and watch the video and be like, oh, that's what this is about. I thought it was this. And I was like, well, thank you for listening. Like, I appreciate it. And my husband was like, oh my God, I can't believe you actually changed somebody's mind. So that's one of the reasons, obviously, why I do music, because I think it's a great way to reach and connect with people that are close-minded. But I really do. I just try to ask questions because I want to understand why people think the way that they do. But it is very difficult and it's very frustrating. So at a certain point, I just have to move on because there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, I feel strongly about where I stand on things, but I'm very good at just like, if someone doesn't see my way, maybe it's just because I'm stubborn. I'm like, okay, I don't try to make them see my way, or I do try to see the other side of things. I think I am good at that, but mostly I just meet people in the middle, and I'm just like, okay, I literally say we can agree to disagree. That is my like end argument of everything. If I'm not connecting with someone, we can agree to disagree. I have my thoughts, you have yours. There's no hard feelings, and that's that.
Right.
Yeah, it's been difficult, especially politically, with some family from home and people from home, friends from home, and it just is hard to have these conversations. And my only response to it always is, do you understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
Because as long as they understand where I'm coming from, then I know that I am speaking eloquently and knowledgeably enough about the subject, and they can disagree with me. And I'm the first one to say, I understand you. I get your opinion.
For sure.
I totally get your opinion, but I just need you to know like the origin of it.
Yeah.
And this is where it comes from. And it's good. Like, I feel like it's a brain exercise every time this happens. I wish that there were less closed-minded people in the world, because I think like it's such a sad life to live closed-minded. It really is. And sort of like, I think our hope, like especially this generation, and maybe it's just this California bubble that we live in, but the hope is that we raise children to be open-minded. Because so many of us are now, this millennial generation that has been having kids over the past couple of years and will continue to have children for the next couple of years.
I think it's a beautiful thing, because I think younger generations are getting exposed to diversity and what different walks of life are like. And like the first president that they were exposed to was an African-American president. They're seeing, LGBT rights come to fruition. They're seeing so many different things, and it's going to hopefully just become a moot point. Is that correct? Moot point?
Moot point.
Yeah.
This is a side note, but I was watching Miss Congeniality yesterday, like for the 900,000
Yeah.
times. And it was interesting because that came out, I had to look and see when it came out. It came out in 2000. And you know the part where the woman, like they actually cut it out on TV, but in Miss New York or whatever, she's a lesbian, and when she gets cut, she goes to the end of the stage and she's like, I just want all you lesbians to know out there that if I can make it to the top 10, so can you. But they cut it out on television.
Do not remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then in the control room, the guy goes, can we say lesbians on TV? And the other woman that's working in the control room goes, do you got a problem with that? But it's like, how crazy. Like, I was watching that thinking, how far we've come.
Crazy?
I was like, wow, that was just, well, oh God, that was 18 years ago.
I know. I was hoping you actually didn't do the math, because it hurt me when I did it in my head.
Dating myself.
Like,
Holy cow.
Oh wow, that's a long time ago.
It
But
hurt.
yes, we've come a long way.
Well, instead of dating ourselves, we need some young blood in here. So we have the phenomenal Drew Dorsey, who is just so youthful and exuberant, and she hosts on Clevver, and we have her coming up next.
Welcome back, guys. So I'm so excited. We have Drew Dorsey in studio. Hailing from the Bay Area, Drew has spent her 2 decades on Earth making people smile with a microphone in hand and sashaying her hips. Drew got her training wheels in the industry as a writer, working in digital media for several YouTube outlets while learning her way around the switchboard at KJLH Radio. After receiving her degree in communication studies and journalism from Loyola Marymount University, Drew became a host for Defy's Clevver after interning and writing for the company. When she's not influencing millennials on Clevver, you can find her on the red carpet for the Emmys or at the Governor's Ball as a correspondent for IMDb, appearing in sketches for Smosh, and on her own YouTube channel. I'm exhausted already. With a passion for inspiring young women to be confident and embrace their truest selves, yes, girl, Drew uses her social media presence to further her positive mission. Drew plans to continue inspiring others to live their best lives by embracing their eccentricities with her genuine approach to storytelling and being unapologetically, I was almost there, guys, authentic. Welcome, Drew.
Who's that? She sounds cool.
She is the coolest, which is why we have you here.
I love it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
So, you know, I've known you for a long time, and I've had the pleasure of working with you, and now we're really good friends. But you have the biggest personality, and I love it. Did you always have a big personality, like even as a baby Drew?
I was so annoying, you guys. I literally came out of the womb just I couldn't stop talking. But the weird thing is, I wasn't a crier when I was a baby. I slept a lot, so my mom was like, "Yeah, it was so weird."
So you're an easy baby.
Yeah, so easy. But then like talking, no way. You can't get me to shut up.
I love it. I love it. What were you like in school, though?
Okay, so I was a goody two shoes, like throughout elementary school, high school, the whole 9 yards. Like I was that silent kid in class who like participated, but I was never like in trouble. I was like student body president. I would stay in at recess and get help from my teachers. I was a nerd, kind of, but not like an annoying nerd that like asked the teacher what's for homework, you know?
Right.
You know, that one kid everybody wants to die.
You just you knew where you were going.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
Exactly. I shouldn't say that. Not die in this climate.
I know. But we got you. We knew what you meant. We knew what you meant. That one kid. Just that one kid.
Right. That one kid. Jeez.
So obviously, you know, you've done a lot of things. You started interning in radio. You went to school for journalism. Now you're on Clevver. What was your big break? Like, what was the defining moment so far?
I would say Clevver for sure, because that was just such a long process, because I started working for them as an intern in college, and then I didn't expect anything necessarily to come out of the internship, and then just worked my butt off, and then from there I became a writer, and that was a fluke of a thing, because I just started writing for hosts, and they're like, wait, you're good at this, and then they brought me back on from there, and then it was a fluke of a thing that I became a host. So it's just like that's really been the launching point, and then people have been able to find me off of that, so grateful.
For the listeners that don't know, what is Clevver?
So Clevver is basically an entertainment news outlet. It's a digital outlet, and it's a mixture of entertainment news and a lot of personality-driven content. Like there's beauty shows where like different products are tried in like a very non-beauty guru type of way, just like kind of like trial and error type of thing. And then there's food shows. It's just like a lot of random stuff, really. It's the best way to describe it.
But all entertaining.
All entertaining.
All entertaining.
Yeah.
Side note, Drew and I went to Froyo like a month ago, and like she's literally a celebrity, you guys. We're getting Froyo, and the guy, like I noticed the guy behind the counter get really excited when Drew walked in. I just thought he was like, oh, hot girls, like whatever. Then she gets her Froyo, and he's like, can I get a picture with you? And I was like, this is the cutest. He was living his best life. It was
amazing.
adorable.
He's very sweet.
So cute.
Very
So cool. So obviously this day and age online, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has comments, and there's a lot of negativity. So working in online media, I'm sure you've experienced negativity and comments. How do you handle that? Or what have you experienced, rather?
Honestly, people have been nicer than expected to me
great.
on the internet. I mean, of course, everybody gets some type of hate. I honestly, I laugh it off, because it's like, if you're taking time out of your day to be like, this girl's voice sounds like a man, which it does sometimes, I get it. Then it's just kind of like, I usually just make a joke out of it. Either I don't respond, or I'll be like, hope your day gets better. And then they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. They don't expect you to respond.
They never think you're going to respond. Yeah.
Right.
They're like, you're not a real person. And it's like, gotcha.
I think the reason why you don't get a lot of hate, though, is because it's very true, unapologetically yourself.
You know?
And it's so authentic. And that's why it's people, like, you can't hate that.
Yeah.
You can't hate that.
I feel like people also might think you might call them out.
I think people are
That's
scared.
amazing.
That's honestly, I think people are a little scared.
But that's a
like
good
that.
way. That's good though too. So you have a lot of followers, and followers in this industry are.
I wouldn't say a lot, mate.
Well, I mean,
a good amount of
We all
followers,
want to be
girl.
there.
Yeah.
And how do you, if someone's trying to build their following, what advice would you give them? And also, how important is it in what you do to have those followers?
So first question of like how to do it, there's not really like a step-by-step formula. I'd say pick something that you're interested in and do that with a passion. For me, I was lucky that I got my start on Clevver, which already has a big following, so it was kind of like I kind of got like a 2-for-1 thing with that, because people just found me on Clevver. But as far as like growing your numbers, I guess just like post as often as you can, and like stuff that you care about, and then hopefully other people care about it. That's like a terrible. I don't really.
There is
know.
no
it makes
formula.
sense.
You
There's
know,
no
I get,
formula.
yeah.
There really is. It was kind of a trick
weird.
question. I think I was looking for inspiration.
No, but like I get it. Like it's kind of just like be yourself, and then people who relate to you will relate. You know, most of my audience I checked, because I had to like send it in to a brand the other day, is like 80% women, and
that's
like
fantastic.
yeah, which is just so interesting because it's like I tend to like lean. I like sexy stuff, and like I kind of got in a mini fight with somebody because they were like, you only have all these followers because you post like sexy stuff. And I'm like, actually, 80% of my audience is female.
Good
so
for you.
It's like, I think women just like gravitate towards stuff that makes them feel empowered, you know? So it's kind of like, there's not really a formula.
Yeah.
And then, sorry, what was the second question?
What was the second question? Is it important to have followers? Like, are you
For this
finding?
industry, yeah.
Okay, so like it sucks that it is important. It's like really in this day, like especially with being a host and just I feel like even acting, people look at your numbers. Unfortunately, which is just so lame because it's like it should just be talent over anything. But like I think I get why they look at that, because they want someone who can relate to whatever they're trying to sell, you know?
Or because they don't want to have to do the work.
Exactly.
They want to have a built-in audience for whatever they're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it's marketing, really.
I had someone like my stuff the other whatever. Someone connected me with someone, and they were like, "Oh, this girl's great." They looked at my numbers, they're like, "I'm not high enough."
See, that's so.
And I was like,
messed
"Well,
up.
yeah, it does. I
happens.
hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that." But it's
A reality, unfortunately.
it is.
What have you felt your brand is? I'm curious. Because I follow you on Instagram. I love your pictures. You're total black girl magic, in my opinion. So I'm just curious, like, what you view your brand is. Because you found out you're predominantly women is your audience. Is that what you intended?
Honestly, I love it. It's a really good question what my brand is, because I was thinking about it the other day, and like I don't have like a particular like niche thing that I'm like I'm the sports girl or I'm the whatever. It's honestly I'm just like myself.
Yeah.
And I don't
That's
really know
cool.
how to explain it. It's like I said, the women empowerment thing, and just really just trying to inspire people to embrace themselves and be confident. And
I'd say that's what it is.
I think so.
That's what it is.
'cause
which is a great
I think
platform.
the unapologetically you is your brand, honestly, from what I see, which is really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm curious, do you ever feel pressure to post or sort of display a certain type of persona, like even though you're not feeling it, in fear of letting people down?
Not necessarily. Like there, like whenever I post a photo, like obviously I take like 175 before I actually pick one. And
I'm Megan's photographer on a regular basis, so I get it.
Literally.
like that you go through a
worst.
zillion.
Yeah.
And there's always like one or two where I'm like, oh, like that's cute. It's like a laughing one. I hate my laughing face because you guys literally one eye closes and this is like it's not cute. But I'm like, oh, that's cute, but like it's not necessarily like my brand, just because it's just not like you'll see that like if you're watching a video, like you'll see me just like be myself, but like in photos, like I tend to like go on like the sassy or sad.
And it's the best.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I actually have.
said that in the microphone. I'm like trying, and my head's completely.
Yeah,
turned.
Megan's just like in her own zone.
It's a weekly struggle with me.
I'm sorry.
I do have another thought about photos, because you had mentioned that you like to do the sassier, sexier thing. Do you ever get inappropriate things from men?
No.
You don't.
I know, which is so surprising, right? So like,
I thought you were gonna say
Yo,
disappointing.
good on you. I'm
no. That means so, right? No, it's like people are actually. Well, I shouldn't say never. There will be like every once in a while a DM that's just like out of pocket, you know.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just like people being like, "Go, girl, yeah." But also
Live
when
your
I
best
say,
life.
yeah, but when I say like sexy and sassy, it's not like me like bent over in some lingerie with my like finger in my mouth. It's not like that, but there'll be some, salacious things a little bit,
There's a lot of bathing suits, and we
Yes.
love it.
Yeah.
We love it. I mean, you were just in Mexico on vacation, so
Yes.
like
You know.
you had to. You had to.
It is what it is.
Talk to us about because I feel like this is where I want to take my Instagram to the next level. Because so many people, when they start to accumulate followers, brands start to reach out.
Yeah.
So I guess talk about that process. Like when a brand reaches out, are you very particular about who you're going to represent, or does it really matter?
So in the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, this is cool. Like, this is the first time a brand's reached out to me. So I was kind of like accepting everything. But then, and not that like a zillion brands reaching out to me now, but I'm like a little bit more selective in terms of like, I don't want to like put down anybody who does like flat tummy tea, but like there's like certain things like with like diet stuff I won't do, just because a lot of my audience they're female, but they're young. It's like 15 to 18. Well, it's like a majority of my audience, and I just don't want them to think like, oh, Drew looks so good in this photo. She got that way by doing like this crazy diet pill, like if I've promoted fitness stuff before, but like if I'm gonna promote it, it has to be like stuff that's healthy and like actual like working out, eating healthy, like just like I said, since my whole thing is like promoting confidence, that includes body confidence and like doing it in a healthy way. So like that, I would say that's the only like really thing that I'm like a stickler about. But like in terms of like clothes, I love clothes.
Oh my gosh.
If I like this stuff, I'm gonna post it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
It was funny. We actually, one of the follow-up questions that I had was about those brands that do promote unrealistic expectations, and like Kim Kardashian promoting, like weight loss lollipops. Like, do you remember that story? Like, what did you think immediately when you saw that?
I mean, Kim, do what you're gonna do, like get your coin, girl. But but just for me personally, I wouldn't do it. And I'm sure the payout is huge. I mean, it's like Kim, and I saw like a couple other YouTubers doing it, but like I would have to kind of bite the bullet on it, like, and be like, oh, it sucks because that money would have been nice, but like, I'm not gonna promote a lollipop that's supposed to make you drop 10 pounds in a day because you don't eat anything for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's not my thing.
1 pound per lollipop,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought Malynda was good.
No, you're fine.
So I know you have a close relationship with your mom.
Yes.
And your family.
Yeah.
Did they ever in their wildest dreams think that you would be doing this, or what did they imagine for you?
I think my parents always knew that I was going to do something in entertainment, just because like I've been a thespian like my whole life. Like elementary school, high school, theater was my jam. It's all I did. I was always in dance class, and like I think my family's also like super into the arts. Like my dad played the bass and my mom loves to sing. Like at literally every family function, like we have mics. We literally had a family reunion in Detroit, and my mom flew out our mics from home just so we could like sing.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Amazing.
And I want to point out that it's not like people are singing well. Some are, but like.
But so you can perform.
Yeah, it's just
perform.
Always.
Drew and I perform anytime Michael comes on.
Anytime.
I love seeing those videos.
Michael
of you guys.
Jackson.
They give
Yes.
me life.
Megan is my MJ girl.
We're
I
there.
love it.
We're there for it.
Yes.
We're there for it.
I remember a couple months ago you had posted about when you transformed into Beyonce.
Yes.
Oh, girl. I wish I was there that night.
You guys, literally, it was the best day of my life. Like, it makes me cry thinking about it.
Gosh.
So I am, to say the least, a huge Beyonce fan. I love her very much. And I got this opportunity to work for the show called Posers. It's a show that Flaming Saddles in West Hollywood, it's a gay bar. They do this dance show, and it's like 15 different choreographers submit, and it's like a whole ensemble of dancers, and like each night they showcase a certain artist's music. And so they were doing a Beyonce night, and one of the choreographers who I knew from college, she reached out to me and she's like, Drew, do you want to be my Beyonce? I was like, yes. I was like, she didn't even have to fit. I didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, whatever it is, if it's a garage show, I'm doing it. And it was, you guys, it was the best. It was so much fun.
I was living for all that. I would have done anything. If you do that again, I'm there. Front row, girl.
I will
Front
let you
row.
know.
Yes, please let me know.
That's so funny.
It was so fun.
So on the show, we've talked about just obviously because we're talking about female women and female women. Did I really just say that?
Well, it's all.
I knew exactly.
I
It's
love
redundant, but you know what I meant. But about how women have to try a lot harder to accomplish things. So do you ever feel like people underestimate you and what you're doing?
It's really funny because my name's Drew, and like most people think I'm a guy, right? And so my parents told me, they're like, we named you Drew so that when you apply for jobs, people think you're going to be a guy. Oh. And like I've had situations where people will like call me like on a conference call or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, hi, is this Drew?" And I'm like, "Yep, that's me." They're like, "You're what?" And I'm like, "I'm a woman." So it's like it's funny because like before people meet me, they expect something, and like looking at like what I've done, they're like expecting like a dude. Like I think they're expecting something different, and then it's like this one expectation, and it's like I'm a woman and I'm in here now, so you can't say that I can't do it because you know you can get in trouble. Right. Yeah. But aside from that, I used to feel like people used to kind of underestimate me, and like now I'm just kind of like, it's your fault if you do, because you know what I can do. So,
exactly.
Don't.
Exactly.
Your loss, you know?
I guess what I want to know, I don't think I've ever asked you this as your friend. What is, like, do you see an end-all, be-all goal? I mean, you're living your best life, but is there, like...
just took the words out of my mouth.
Oh, sorry.
No, but, like, we're on the same wavelength. So I was curious, too. Like,
clearly, we both said whoop at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for saying I'm living my best life. I feel like every day that I'm still trying to achieve what I want to achieve, and I think it's important that everybody does that just so you never stay complacent. But end-all, be-all, I would love to be on a show like The Real or The View or The Talk.
Yes.
I would love that, and mix that with some type of performing. Like if I can do like musical theater on the side of also doing that. Like I don't even care if I'm not like a millionaire. I should take that back because universe, God, please make it happen. But like as long as I'm doing something that's performing and then also something like The Real, I'll be very happy.
Well, and you're doing sketches with Smosh. So how's that acting going?
I love it. I love it. That's my I say acting was my first love before hosting. It was really acting, and then I was like, I need to make money, so maybe I should study journalism just in case to have something to fall back on. You know?
Same. I feel you.
Yeah.
But
so, like,
you're a little bit further along.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm trying.
So there are probably a bunch of young women that watch you and love what you do and follow your career and probably want to be you. What would you say to them about the industry and breaking in?
I'd say it's not for the delicate at all. You need to have rhinoceros skin going into this industry or turn back, you know, like that's real talk. Like I'm not trying to deflect anybody from following their dreams, but if you aren't thick skinned, you're going to get eaten alive because it's just dog eat dog. People are mean. I mean, like you're going to hear no a lot and you just have to be like, you can't take it personally. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It just means that particular opportunity wasn't for you and there's something bigger, you know?
I should say that take that same advice with guys too, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh my God, please take that advice.
I needed that.
Megan knows my history. Let me tell you.
I just think it's funny because like, I think it's very easy to say, you know, people just might not get you, but it's another thing for you to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know,
like gotta accept it.
It's really hard.
You know?
And you seem like you're killing it.
Thank you.
So
that's
big
really
things.
nice
big
of you
things.
guys to say.
No,
but, you know, still every day trying to push to become the person I want to be.
No, but you're doing it, and you're so young.
Yeah.
So much time.
Yeah, I guess. I like try to remind myself that but then I like look at people like Ariana Grande, who is like she's my age, and I'm like, cool.
Don't. That's a completely different situation. Yeah.
Is it though, Malynda? I don't know.
It is. I mean, I don't know your background, but like I knew Ariana in New York, and like just her family in general, like where you come from is a huge thing. Like I feel like a lot of the stars, if they come from money or come from like a family that already has major status, it's just going to be so much easier for them.
Right.
True.
You know?
Right.
True.
So not that she's not talented. I think she's incredibly talented, but I think she did have a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
That
You know.
makes me feel a little bit better.
Good.
And you made your own edge. So that's the
absolutely.
point of that.
Yes.
Drew, thank you so much for talking to us today. Where can everybody keep up with you?
Keeping up with the Kardashians. Everybody can keep up with me at Drew__Dorsey on Instagram, Twitter, and then on YouTube, you can find me at youtube.com/Drew Dorsey.
Damn, 2 underscores
I
because
was
she's
just
that
gonna
extra.
ask, like, why are there? Did somebody else have it?
Oh, because can I cuss on the show? Probably not.
You can. We just have to put explicit on iTunes.
Some mother took Drew Dorsey, and it's so funny because he gets tagged in my stuff all the time, and I'm like, dude, just give it to me. He has like 55 posts.
I hate that. I literally hate
funny.
that.
So
But that's
annoying.
hysterical. That's hysterical.
He's 1 underscore.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What about just Drew Dorsey?
Somebody else has that. It's so annoying.
Everyone just wants to be you. It's
They're
fine.
not active.
I love it.
All right, girl. Well, yes, with the 2 underscores
Yes.
on that note, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Boss Please Pod. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe on iTunes. Navigate the path to your best self with us, because bossing together is always better.